to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 169. And before I get started, I thought I would share something that's happened this week. Some of you are aware of it, some of you are not. My father-in-law passed away on Monday, and everybody's fine. And, there's the grieving process you have to go through. But we know where he's at. We know he's with the Lord. He has been with hospice my mother-in-law's been caring for him at home, but he's been under hospice oversight for like the last 6 months, and the last 2 weeks have been really, really rough for him. He's been pretty much bedridden, so we know he's in a better place and at peace now. So I almost debated whether to do a podcast or not this week, but you guys are my friends and you all understand. And so if I'm not as chipper, that's kind of why. But, yeah. So anyway, just for those of you who weren't aware, some on Facebook were aware and some were not. So anyway, I have no finished objects this week. I have surprisingly got a lot of things done because, we've been meeting with the funeral director and all this kind of stuff, and when I get antsy I tend to fidget, so I generally have a project in my hand to work on all the time. So let me show you what I got going so far. I will start with my knitted project, and of course I am mid-row on this, but anyway, I've done quite a bit on this sweater this week. You can see where I was last week. There is the stitch marker, and I've gone all the way up here. So I have done about 5 inches. So I am literally about 3 inches to go to get to the top of the sweater. I will be so glad. This has been like a very intense knit. It's been fun, but I'm ready to move on. So, yeah, I am still on the second ball of yarn, but not for long. There's very little of it left. So the front, because of the cabling, is going to take definitely more than the back. Probably the back did 1 and probably a half at the most of a skein of yarn. This one's going to take a full 2 plus a little bit. So yeah. So after that, all I have to do is the neck, the collar, and I haven't decided. I'm going to modify the collar from what it calls for. I just haven't decided what yet. So I have to do the collar and the sleeves. So, but the sleeves are done flat, and I'm just going to put a small cable up the side here. So it should go pretty quick. So, yeah. So anyway, that is knitted project number 1. Then this is what I've been working on because it's kind of mindless. This is my socks. My goal is to have a pair of hand knit or crochet socks for every day of the week. I don't wear them like with my skirt type of thing, but I do wear them in my snow boots and around the house. So here they are. I think last week I was probably somewhere around here. I had just started into the pattern, so I was somewhere around here. So I've gotten up through here, and the back is just plain. So I don't have too much further to go until I am ready to do the heels. And it's funny because these socks every so often have a little splotch of red. You can see it right here. It looks like I bled on my socks. I really didn't, although these needles are pointier than I normally like. Now these are starting to dull down a little bit. They're wood. A lot of people that are tight knitters like really, really sharp pointy needles because they can get the stitches really easy. I'm not an overly tight knitter. I'm like moderate to loose knitter. So for me, I really don't need the pointy needles, and I end up stabbing myself with them. My fingers actually get sore right here from, the needle pushing against it. So, yeah, there's my socks. So that's the knitted projects. Then I have a weaving project that I've been working on, a scarf. But before I show it to you, because I recorded the scarf because I can't bring the loom up the stairs, it's too heavy. So I did film that earlier, and I am at about 20 inches done on that scarf now. But I thought I would show you some other weaving projects that I have done over time. So this is my very first weave. It is a scarf. This is just done over and under, and you can tell I was fairly new. I'm still fairly new at it because the edges on this, if you look really close, are really uneven, like right there. And so I could fold it over and just, sew it so nobody would notice, but I just wear this around under my coat, so it's like, who cares? And this is really, really soft yarn. You can see it here. It's just the colors I'm not crazy about. They're yellow and orange, and they call it sage, but it doesn't have a whole lot of green to it. It's almost like a beige with a hint of sage to it. But the yarn itself, this is some cheap yarn that I've ordered off of eBay from China. It is super, super soft. It is bamboo. You can generally get 2 to 3 skeins of this for like $6 or $7 for the 3, and it's usually free shipping. So it's decent yarn. It really is. And I've got quite a bit of it. I have some in like some variegated purples, and I have some solid colors in it. But it is really, really soft. They claim it has cotton, bamboo, and cashmere. I doubt there's cashmere in it for the price that it is. I tend to think it's more bamboo and cotton, but it is extremely, very, very soft, and it has a really nice drape to it. So, yeah, if you want to check out some cheap yarn, go over to eBay. And I don't know what it's called. They've changed the name of it over time. It used to be called Baby Love, but it's not called that anymore. But, yeah, it's nice. If you just Google on eBay, if you just put in the search box bamboo yarn, you'll probably run across it. So, yeah, so I really like this. And there you can really see the colors pretty well. And then I experimented with some plaid. And again, it was just done over and under, but it was all in how I warped the loom. So I actually warped it by doing dark and medium color stripes. And then I did the same going this direction, which is the weft. And so it created a plaid pattern, which you can see right here. Now, again, you can see my edges were not the greatest. This was definitely a learning curve. The particular project I'm working on now, I think the edges look a lot better. I've gotten a little bit more experienced at what I'm doing because, well, actually it's only my 3rd project, but I'm learning with each one. So I think my edges on the one I'm working on now, look a little better. Now you're going to see this yarn again in our next project because I made this to make a scarf, and you can see it's not very big. I just totally miscalculated when I wove this. So if I put it around my neck, it literally just goes around my neck. That's about it. So it's not real long, and it has fringe. Anyway, I had a whole bunch of this yarn left, and that is the yarn that I am redoing my crocheted pattern with. Here is how far I've gotten so far this week. Each of the circumference around this roller bar right here is 5 inches. So I've actually gone 3 times around. So I've got at least 15 inches and then what comes up here. So I'm at about 20 inches so far. And there you can see a little bit better picture of what it looks like. And there it is. You can see all my heddles here. And this is all that's left of the first skein of yarn. And here you can see the back where the yarn is coming over the top of the back plate here and coming from this roller bar here. Now the Proofreading pattern is a wrap that I designed. It is a crochet pattern. I am hoping to get it released hopefully by the end of February. I really had hoped by the end of January, but with everything going on with the family right now, that's like the last thing on my mind is getting the rest of the pattern together. But I really do hope to get it done by the end of February. And so here it is so far. I have come a long way since last week. There it is. And again, it's the same color yarn other than the white. It's the same color of yarn that was done for the weaving project. And I have started the sides here. Like I said, the crochet starts in the center with a granny square, and then it goes sideways out both sides, and it forms a wrap. And I've made one already, and my test crocheters tested it for me, and I have all the pattern corrections in the pattern, but now I'm re-crocheting it one last time just to make sure that there's no errors in any of my corrections, that it reads clearly. So it's like proofreading for a final time. So anyway, there it is, and I'll hold it up close so you can see it. And the reason it is called the Proofreading is because in the knitting world, it's very popular to do what's called fading, which pretty much means when you move from one color to the next color, you kind of stripe them back and forth with each other, and so that the colors blend together more, and they call it fading. But I haven't seen that in the crochet world. I have not seen the term. I think I know why, because it doesn't show up as definitively with crochet as it does knitting, because you can see here, I've got a couple rows where I started the first fading to this lighter color. There's like a set of stripes between each color change, and it doesn't show up quite as crisply as it does with knitting. So that might be why it isn't done a whole lot with crochet, but I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. So that's part of the pattern. So, yep, I'm real happy. Last week, I think I had only gotten to like right about here. So it's come a long ways, and it looks a little puckery right now because this is 100% wool, and it will block out when I'm finished, and it'll lay flat and be perfectly fine. So the first one I made out of a cotton, and that one is actually, well, I can't say what's going to happen with it. Well, I can, but my mother might hear. Anyway, my mom sometimes watches the podcast. Mom, if you're listening, close your ears for just a minute. I'm giving the original one to her for her 80th birthday. So, yeah. So, okay, Mom, you can unplug your ears now. Sometimes she watches, sometimes she doesn't. So if you are, hello, Mom. So anyway, yes, that was my last pattern that I am working on. Now it's time to check out what you guys are making, and there is a really cool one in the show and tell. I mean, there's lots of cool ones. There's always really good ones in the show and tell that I sit and drool over. But Mary Wanamaker sent some pictures of some handbags or tote type of things that she made out of some scrap yarns, and it's my downfall. I absolutely love pocketbooks. I have like tons and tons of pocketbooks. Nothing really expensive. I don't own like designer pocketbooks and stuff. I get them like off of eBay and things that are cheap. And they tend to fall apart easy, but well, anyway. But I love pocketbooks. So anyway, when I saw those, I was like, ooh, what a nice idea what to do with your scraps. So check it out when you see the show and tell. in the acquisitions, I got my knit crate in this month. It came in this week. If you missed the video and you want to check it out before I show it here, you can click the little link right here and that will take you over to it and you can see what it was like. However, if you watched it, or if you didn't and you don't want to watch the video, I'll show you what I got. And Knit Crate is running right now, I don't know for how long, a fantastic deal. So let me show you first what I got. It's 2 skeins of yarn. This is the membership box, which you always get 2 skeins, and it might be different weights this month. It is a worsted weight. The yarn is very pretty. Now, some of us have said we like them both, but we don't like them together. So let me show you the first one. This is my favorite, I think. It's a tonal, and I just love the deep, look at that deep sapphire blue that is in this. It's just gorgeous. This I like all by itself. I don't know that I would put it with anything because it's just, the color is just so fantastic in it. It's such a deep, deep blue. Love that. Then we have this one, which is gray, and there's a purple in it, which is pretty, but we have all said that to have this, it doesn't look like it goes with this. Now, in the camera, it doesn't look bad, but when you hold them up together, they're okay together, but the blues that are in this are not the same blues that are in this. And like I said, there's purple in it, like right here. This is all purple. That's mixed in with a gray, and then a kind of a medium to denim blue over here. So like I said, it's pretty as a standalone, but I don't know that I would put them together. And my daughter and I were talking because she got the same box. I said, so what did you think? Was your consensus the same as everybody else's? And she's like, yeah, I like them both. I just don't know if I like them together. She says, I probably wouldn't use them together in a project. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, me either. But yeah, I love this one. This one is just really, really pretty. So, like I said, this one is too. I just don't think they look the greatest together. But here's the deal that Knit Crate is offering. I guess I should tell you a little bit about this yarn too. It is a knitology. The colors were dyed by a company called Brooklyn Boy Knits. So all of the patterns and everything were written by men this month. And the dyeing was actually done by a company so many yarn dyers are women, but this is done by a group of men. It is 100% superwash merino wool, worsted weight, 225 yards. So, yes, it is very nice. And so altogether, we have 450 yards if I use them together. Now, here's the deal that they are offering. You can try your very first box for $5. Yes, $5. Sound too good to be true? It isn't. It actually works. My daughter ordered through it and it went through perfect. If you like it after your first month, you can continue the subscription. It's $24.99 a month. If you don't enjoy it, or you decide it's too pricey, or you just don't want to continue, you can cancel it right online. Yeah. So anyway, how can you go wrong with that? The shipping is pretty much what you're paying for your first box. So, and the $24.99 that you pay per month includes 2 skeins of yarn and a little like mini magazine that includes usually 4 to 6 patterns in it. And, yeah. And sometimes they throw a little goodie in type of thing. And so the $24.99 does include your shipping. So, and they do have cheaper boxes out there. They have a sock box that's $19.99, but it's only 1 skein of yarn. And it's always a sock weight yarn. So, just to be aware of that. So, yeah, that was my acquisition, and that is the deal they're running. I don't know how long it is running, but if you click the link below, that will take you right over to it, and you can sign up. I will let you know that for every one of you that sign up for the $5, I actually get 1 free month. So, yeah, it's a win-win situation. So that's fun because what I'm doing is I'm looking through when I get a membership box in. If there's 1 month that I really like, I can order a second one. So that's gonna work out very well for me as well. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a fun week looking at all this and some of you have taken advantage of that offer, and I appreciate that. And like I said, $5, how can you go wrong? You can always cancel it if you don't like it. So, yeah, that is it for my acquisitions. Now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, I'm going to start, I usually tend to do these in alphabetical order, and they are also listed alphabetically down in the description box. If you click on the description box and click on the show more, it'll drop down and just go alphabetically right down the line. It'll take you right over to whichever site you're interested in. So Annie's is offering a luxe oversized shrug crochet, shrug, and it's done in crochet. So this is what it looks like. And the pattern ranges in price from $6.50 to $8.50 depending on how you want the pattern delivered to you, whether you want it digital download or if you want a digital pattern or a printable pattern. So anyway, that is the Luxe Oversized Shrug. Over in their knitting section, they have a weekend cabin knit sweater, which I thought was really pretty. And the pattern is $6.99. And here's what it looks like. Now, Bluprint is offering 35% off of your entire order through January 27th of 2020. So the sale only runs through January 27th, and it is 35% off. You do need to use a coupon code 35favorites to get that discount. Consumer Crafts is running a really good sale right now. All of their yarn is 25% off. You do need to use a coupon code YARN25. Now, why I say it's a really good sale, not only do they have some decent prices on some of their yarn, once you take the 25% off, it's really, really good. But if you like to make dishcloths, this is the cheapest site I've found, because they're, the Lily Sugar and Cream, they sell as a regular price for $1.97, which is like the cheapest I've found any place. And then you get 25% off of that. So it's going to be really, really dirt cheap. So if you're interested in dishcloths, now's the time. So anyway, again, the coupon code for that is YARN25. And I don't know how long that sale's going to last. So if you want it, I'd get it while the getting is good. Now, Create for Less is having a stock up sale. So it's all different types of craft supplies, not necessarily yarn, but all different types of craft supplies. And that is, again, called the stock up sale. The Dollar Tree does sell dollar yarn, and they do sell wool yarn, believe it or not. The gray and the white wool yarn is, and I believe it's called Voyager. You have to buy a package of 6, but it's $1 a skein. And it's like a fingering weight, light fingering weight. And, $1 a yard, or $1. $1 a yard. That would be expensive yarn. It's, $1 a skein. So, just be mindful to see how many you have to purchase, in order to get it. Ice yarn. If you watched The Secret Yarnery, and I watched her ice yarn haul this week, that woman bought like almost as big as me thing of ice yarn. It was like amazing. I felt like I was watching Christmas all over. She was opening all this stuff, and all this gorgeous stuff was spilling out of her packing bags. But anyway, they had some beautiful yarn, and she had one that I really liked. It's called Magic Glitz. It's $1.99 a skein through Ice Yarn. So that one I liked, that was really pretty. But she also had a lot of sort of like mandala yarn, the cakes that are, well, you know what mandala is. It was similar to that, where it's, gradient colors in a cake. She had bunches and bunches of that. And it was really pretty. So they have a lot of that over, like I said, on ice. That's where she bought it from. So it's worth checking out. There's tons of stuff over there, but yeah, I liked the Magic Glitz. It just had a sheen to it that was really pretty. Knit Picks Yarn of the Month is their Cotton Linen brand. It comes in different weights. It's a cotton linen blend, and it is 20% off this month. They also have, and it's not just Knit Picks, they actually have like a sister site that's part of Knit Picks, but it caters to crochet, and it's called We Crochet. And they have the same yarn that Knit Picks does, because it, like I said, is part of the same site. So they have lots of yarn. They have kits and they have patterns as well. So it's definitely worth checking out. And I think they have a free newsletter as well. I don't know if it includes patterns, but I think they have something like that as well. Leisure Arts, they have some pretty patterns. And when I saw the Secret Yarnery and all the like mandala gradient yarn she bought, I saw this pattern and went, oh, that would work for this. It is an Afghan, but it's called Mindful Mandala Afghans. So it's a whole bunch of Afghans, but they are done using mandala yarn. And it is $9.99. It is a downloadable pattern, so you can download it and then print it for yourself. And then they had Make in a Weekend Afghans. And those are knitted patterns there. And that is $4.99. So that is Leisure Arts. Lion Brand for the month of January is offering 40% off of their yarn and kits. You do need to use the coupon code JAN40 to get that discount. And my newest affiliate link is called Prime Publishing, and they put out 2 digital magazines, and they also offer patterns depending on what level of membership you get. So the memberships can run anywhere from 99 cents a month to, I think it's $1.97 per month. So relatively cheap for patterns and a little digital magazine. They have one for knitting. They have one for crochet. One's called I Like Knitting. The other one's called I Like Crochet. So, yeah, those are maybe interesting to you as well. So that is it for this week. I know it's kind of a short week, but it's been a little stressful at our place lately. And things will smooth out, but just so you guys kind of know what's going on. And yeah, so those of you who have sent me some kind wishes and prayers for our family, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you again on, probably will not have a Wednesday video this week. I might surprise you, but as far as I know, I probably will not, just because of everything that's going on. So if I don't see you Wednesday, I will see you again on Saturday. Thanks so much for watching.